Okay, now that I showed you like what that looks like on the side, we're gonna go to the front. This is like a front view. Try to kind of line my stuff up pretty good here, but I'll show you what this looks like in the front. I want you to see where my other hand is too. So now you're looking like this, and your hands are like this. Then sometimes your hands are like this. But then when I rest like my elbow down, it looks like this. So when then you put your hand over the hand like that. But then when it looks from the side, it's gonna look a little different. But I didn't do enough of videos to show you what this looks like in the front, and why you should go like this, or like this, or like this, or you go flat-handed. But we also want to look like we have hooves or claws. So we always want to do things on bare fist when we can, because for other practical reasons. But could like start out like this. But what you're doing, whether you're on your flat hands or like this, and you move a little forward, you start to feel that a little bit more. And you don't got to do it all at once, but do your best, like what you can. Then you're doing it like this too, like this. Then once you go like this, see what that looks like again. You just put your hand like this, like if you had an aerial view, your hands are always crossing. And then to show you in a second the other side view that I always had in the videos, and not enough of this, that what it looks like. Grab that foot. Like when I first started out, it hurt like a son of a bitch if I tried to grab the foot too soon. And so you want to go like this a little bit, like teeter over, and go a little bit farther like this. Okay, we're going to show you what the side view looks like again, and now too. So that's what it looks like in the front. And now that's what it looks like. Here, let me get more into the camera. Okay, and for some reason, now I had the other foot going. This doesn't look like much right here, but like I said, with some people, less than that, they're feeling it. And you wear his knee pads because you can round it out. Then see how this goes. Like this. Then like this, hand over hand, crossover. And you got to watch this part of the hip. Some of us, you got to watch not to mess up that hip. That's why I rather like teeter, like a little this, like a little that. And when you're moving different ways, even like this, you can see and lean and see what part of that leg is, or what part of this is being stretched, and what part of underneath this leg is being stretched. You need a little bit of all of it. And some of us have more restricted hips and more stubborn hamstrings and everything than others. And so there's no real wrong way to do this. You want to try to incorporate it with stuff you do every day anyway. You can be someplace with steel-toe boots somewhere, and get yourself a private spot. Like I said, you can either be showing off, where some people don't mind in some workplaces, but you may want to take a private spot behind a building or something, because people are such so bureaucratic, you know. I mean, the workplace stuff, I mean, they'll work you to your drop and everything else, but you try to do something to better yourself and think you're all. They regard it as challenging and confrontational to their authority, and you're pissing on their authority, and their workplace is like a pissing ground, and you're pissing on their territorial pissing ground. Even though they say, their insurance doesn't cover it for you, you'll get hurt. The way they give you these looks anyway, I told my story before, like I said too. But you do it outside the workplace and all that, and don't let anybody see you if you have certain areas where there's not a lot of people and they don't a lot of see. Nobody else sees, and you don't get somebody with a stick up their ass because they're mad at you about something. Somebody with a beer belly and an attitude decides he's mad at you about something, and anything you do to better yourself, especially when on the bare fist, and he sees it, you get this dirty ass look. It's challenging and confrontational to their authority. They don't care how well you do in the workplace, but this is what, if you have any time off, and like I said too, if they're quarantined people, say you're not sick and they don't want anybody in crowds anymore because the people that are not sick, they don't want them getting sick. I'm trying to recommend shit like this, if you got this far in this video, that if you can't go anywhere, or if it got to the point where you can't even, some of you can't even go to certain jobs and it gets that far, I mean, or if you're somewhere else, like if you're confined to your home or your apartment or somewhere, you're lucky. Say maybe in a case like this, I'm lucky if I can come out here and do this and not do it in the hallway or whatever, how they'll restrict things. But chances are I can still do this shit out here. They just won't want you leaving the grounds going to, they don't want maybe certain public places and shit like that. And hopefully it don't get that far, but can be another way to restrict people too. This is an illegal this is an illegal activity because it projects something that they say is wrong. I don't want to go into that far. I don't want to go into that much in this video, but this is basically to send a few videos to some of you guys that know me, so